Aha. Hey guys, welcome to episode 7 of Gabe Plays All the Mods 9 to the Sky. As you can see, I've been busy working on upgrading the base here, putting a lot of effort into the looks and just cleaning things up in general. So I'll show you that now. I've basically been cleaning up this ME area first off, so I've just been organizing it. All the cables in the ME controller now go up and around the walls, except for this one here that still holds our terminals. I've added a few molecular assemblers to each of our pattern providers so that they can craft like a few things at the same time. As well, I added a pattern access terminal. So this allows you to see all the different things that you have pattern providers plugged into and the pattern provider inventories. So then I can, instead of having to like click this guy over here, I can just click this guy and see all this stuff. And if I want to add a recipe in or something, I can do that. I've also added 8 ME drives in each of the 4 corners of the room. So we've got plenty of room to grow here in terms of storage for our system. Yeah, I've been, as you can see, I've been adding a bunch of blocks and stuff to the walls. I've been trying to make it look kind of like, at least in this internal ME area, a little futuristic. I'm using the dark inverted bricks, which you get from the dark zirconium gems, which you get from sifting dust. And then I've been using Certus quartz brick and Fluix blocks to kind of match the applied energistics theme here. In these upper areas, I've now like cleaned up the staircase, and I've got some more dark inverted bricks and some quartz glass, kind of creating the separation of the room. I want this area to have kind of like a big expanding feel, like it feels large, but I still want to have separation between floors and rooms, so that's why I chose to go with the quartz glass from applied energistics. But yeah, the cool thing about these cables going up the top is I kind of like the way it'll end up looking when we have a bunch of them, just seeing them all spiral out. And these cables actually come out and around and end up down here, and they'll live between the walls, because I planned it to have these cobblestone separators 3 wide so that you could have like an internal wall, an exterior wall, and then gaps inside the wall for these cables to come down. So all the cables that we used to have that came down here and went over and down and over and that sort of thing now go out the top and down through the corners. So I think that looks a lot cleaner, and it'll just keep looking better as we expand the applied energistics network. Also over here, I've been working on expanding the reactor area. So I've now set it up so that all 8 locations are ready to just receive a reactor. They've all got ME cables that port uraninite, redstone, coal, and they've got coolant pipes that port water. And then also coming at the top, I have all the ice machine is now spreading out to all the 8 points, and we've also got the power cables coming up. You can also see that I've switched all the power cables now to the spirited power cables, so that we made last episode. So now we've got like pretty unlimited like throughput of power in our area here. Because I did that, I put in the upgrades for the dust machine, these netherite upgrades. So now it sieves like a stack of dust at a time, so it produces quite a bit of resources. We've definitely accrued a bunch of resources, which has led me to add a bunch of storage. I've started making the 256k ME storages, like in these ones over here, because the resources we're producing are just like an insane amount right now. I might even like slow it down a bit, because I don't really see the need for 1.1 million gunpowder. I see the need for some of the Certus quartz stuff and glowstone and redstone, but some of these other things, I don't know, I might like just send them to the trash or something, unless I find a use for them later on. I'll keep a stockpile for now, but yeah, that's what I've been doing. I also added these white elevators from the elevator mod. You just make these with wool and an ender pearl, and they just allow you to like hit shift or spacebar and go up or down between them. I just thought that was cleaner than our staircase that we had before. I'll get to what's back there in a bit. But yeah, so you can see down here, now these dense cables come down, and this one, for instance, comes down and provides signal to all 4 storage like disk locations. You can see here, yellow, the red, the green. I've tried to keep it like pretty organized down here now moving forward. So everything's kind of lining the walls. It's nice and tight, going in like thought out directions. It was a little harder to keep it like organized, but I think I did my best over here with the reactor. The dense cable comes down over here, and then we have the uraninite, the redstone, the coal lines. Then we've got power cables going all around, and we've got the water lines also going all the way around. I added this like ice here just to, you know, spice it up. I'll work on the overall look of this room. I mainly focused on the Emmy room between episodes, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way this turned out here. So in addition to that, I've also got what's back here. I finished up the kind of nature, pretty looking island. You can see I'm running some cables. I'm running a power cable and an ME cable through to the island from over here, from the factory island. Yeah, this took quite a bit of dirt, a bit of time, but I definitely like the way it turned out. I ended up moving the silo from like this spot here to over here, just because of the way the shape of this island turned out. It was a little too close to the edge here for what I ended up doing for the layout. But I'll still probably use this as like a casual farm for if I need something quick. But in terms of our automatic farm, I'm using this silo here. It's made out of red terracotta and then aluminum sheet metal, I think is called. Aluminum. Maybe if I just go sheet metal. Yeah, sheet. Oh, it's sheet aluminum block or something. It's aluminum sheet metal right here. Yeah, so that's what I used. I think it gives it a pretty realistic look of like the red and like the metal top, like a real silo. So I like that. Big fan. So yeah, over here I've got the ME cables and power cables coming in. So what we're doing here is we're supplying bamboo and diamonds to make the hose for the pylons. What I didn't realize until doing this is that the pylons actually don't... Stupid eggs. The pylons actually don't accept items. Like, you can't pipe anything into this. You can't even use like a vanilla hopper to pump anything in here. So I originally had this chest going to all the pylons, and it's going to be feeding them, and now I just have this chest here with the hose, and then if we like check in and this gets low, which I mean it'll take a long time to go through 9 diamond hose, then I'll just kind of manually put it in. But eventually you can put in all the modium hoe in here, and that's indestructible, so then you never have to replace it. But we're a little ways away from all the modium hose right now. And then yeah, all the pylons place the plants and stuff into here, and then each level this gets sucked out and gets put back into this chest here, where the ME import bus here just pulls it all into the system. As far as the split goes, I've got 6 levels in this silo, and I've gone with, for now based on our needs for string, 4 levels are the flax seeds, 2, 3, 4, and then the top 2 levels are just wheat because we still eat just this toast for now. But yeah, I think it turned out pretty well. It's very functional. It's very clean now. It's doing exactly what I want it to do. I think I like the look of it as well. It definitely has a complete look. I used just like a circle generator and a dome generator online to do these shapes. I think there is like builders, but I just did this manually for now. I'll put some links in if people aren't familiar with those things, but they're pretty useful tools to just help you build stuff like this, nice and symmetrical and looking good. But yeah, I like the way this turned out. I really like the way this island turned out. I think it looks very complete. I've kind of lined the edges with these cherry trees for now, just so that instead of you're just like staring off into the nothingness of the sky, you've got like something in the background of your vision. I've still got the bee house here, which has a bunch of bees. I've moved them all into this little like pen area that we made, and all their honeycombs end up in this chest over here. This isn't getting pumped into the ME system yet, but eventually it will when we get to a point where we kind of need more honeycombs and stuff. I'm sure we'll get there eventually for different things. But yeah, this island took a bit of work. I expanded the oak barrel dirt producing factory over here to have 25 of them, so that it could quickly process like seeds and items and stuff like that. The way I ended up like doing this, because it was taking a while to just wait for the farms, was paying this guy. I'd pay him like 64 emeralds for a sapling or something like that, and then I'd just get like a full inventory of saplings and then pump it in here, and then it'd pump out like a few stacks of dirt, and I did that a bunch of times to get the dirt for this. Now that we have this automatic farm that's going to be pumping in seeds like kind of passively all the time, I'll probably move this over to the factory building in the basement and just have it auto exporting like our wheat seeds and flax seeds into here, and then we'll just like input dirt into our system. For now, I've kept the ender portal here, or the nether portal here. I'm not sure if I'll like keep it here forever, but I was kind of too lazy to move it. But yeah, the perimeter of the island is lined with these smooth stone slabs. It's kind of just nostalgia for me. I used to use these for like sea walls and like castle builds I used to do in vanilla Minecraft. But yeah, it's 4 blocks tall. We got dirt and then 3 blocks of cobblestone underneath, fully full. So that if we get any creeper instance or stuff like that, we won't just fall down. It'll be a somewhat repairable hole. I still want to work on the lighting of this island. We've still got a bunch of like ground torches. I want to like create some lampposts or something. We obviously still have some room to add a few other things. Maybe we'll do some animal farms or something like that if we need that. But yeah, and then going over this factory, it's definitely like a little less complete looking than this island, but we're getting there. It's definitely going to be a lot bigger and have a lot more complicated, so it'll come with time. But I'm pretty happy with the theme we've got going, at least in this ME room. I think it's looking pretty good. Has a very like expansive feel to it. And yeah, the reactor room also like not quite as complete at all, but like functionally very complete. And if you've noticed in my inventory, let me just sleep real quick. I have actually, in between episodes, set the system here to autocraft enough reactor blocks to put in reactors in all of these spots. So these it took about like maybe an hour of autocrafting because I had to do all the stuff in the bottom down there, the crystal empowering. But yeah, we got these now, so this will allow us to have basically a pretty legit amount of power going to our system and powering this whole factory building. So yeah, let's do it. Let's make this reactor. I've also been like storing some dry ice, so I'm just gonna split this 7 ways here so I can like kind of evenly distribute it between the reactors as I go. So yeah, boom, this just fills up immediately with the resources, and then I'll pump in some dry ice there and set it to the auto mode so it stops when it's like at full and wait till it gets down to 70%. But yeah, I'm gonna just make all the other reactors here, and then we should be like in business to start doing some cool stuff. All right, check this out, guys. We have now 8 spirited reactors powering our whole base. It's definitely like overkill for the usage we have right now, but I think with this, I want to put the netherite upgrades in all of these sieves here, all these, so they can be like super endgame stuff. I also need to upgrade these emerald furnaces because they're like at this point now pretty slow for the resources we make. So I'm gonna set the system to autocraft this the netherite upgrades for these machines. I'll just make 5 more or something. I don't think we need it for like the dust, sand, gravel kind of stuff. That's probably not really that necessary, but I will do it for the sand and gravel so that we can get more ingots and that sort of thing. And then I'll also probably come up with a plan for upgrading these furnaces. Like I said, we need to get some blaze rods, which is the challenge. But yeah, let me just autocraft those things, and then we'll start setting it up. Okay guys, I put in the upgrades here. There's only one catch with this. Now it's going super quick. We're getting a lot of resources, but we are very quickly going through our storage. And like, granted, all of these are 256k storage things. So we're like, that's great. We're getting a lot of resources, but I want to address our storage issue first. Like, we have a lot of room for drives, but we don't have a lot of drives now that we're at this kind of scale of items. So what I want to do is set up the mega cell stuff, which we need to make these like sky steel ingots from, which we use chargers, quartz, iron ingot, and sky stone in the setup over here, like this for the fluix crystals, but instead for the sky steel ingots in lava. So I set this up, but what we need as well to make this is we need to make these accumulation circuits, which are the basis for all these like big ones. They use this printed accumulation circuit. And so we need to get an inscriber accumulation press. And the way we do that is we use a calculation and an engineering press with a singularity. And the way we get a singularity is by pumping items into a matter condenser, and we set it to singularity, and then it'll take like, I think it's like 64, you need to put in 64,000, like you know, fill up a 64,000 storage thing to get a singularity, which should be doable for us. We can just use like a cobblestone or something, but yeah, we should be able to do that and make a singularity and start making these chips. Once we make a few of those chips, I probably will like slow down some of the storage. It looks like we don't need that much resource accumulation. Like, we're getting a lot real fast. Like 1.2 million, 1.2, 1.4, 1.6, 1.6, 1.7, which is all cool, but definitely a little fast. And as far as upgrading the furnaces, we do need to get the blaze rods, but the way I'm seeing we get the blaze rods, is by like, A, we like make a farm for magma cubes, or B, we can turn all of our blaze powder into blaze rods with the immersive engineering metal press, which like is very doable, but it's going to require some steps from immersive engineering. So in the meantime, for now, I just set up a bunch more of these furnaces to distribute all the smelting load, and now like is able to keep up. Before, we had like hundreds of thousands of ore blocks here that like were queued up to smelt and weren't smelting. But yeah, I'm gonna set up the matter condenser and make the singularity so we can make this inscriber accumulation press, and then we should be able to make like the better cells and stuff. Okay guys, I got the matter condenser here, put a 64k storage in there, and now it's set to singularity, and we're just outputting cobblestone through this export bus here, and so that should just fill up fairly quickly, honestly, and make a singularity for us. Something I want to do while that's working is I've been thinking we should probably like improve the inscriber situation. So instead of using like just like one inscriber for each press, what we can do is make, like, I think, and what I've done in the past is, because each of these cables supports 8 channels, we should do 8 of each type of inscriber. And then at the same time, we should also use, instead of the regular inscribers, we can use the extended inscribers, which is from Extended AE, which basically just like has a bunch of items that are like better than like the default ones. So got extended interfaces, pattern providers like we've been using, extended drives, extended inscribers, chargers, stuff like that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 8 of these for each press, plus like the one that's for anything. I might actually make 16 of these or something, so we have really good throughput. Like I might do 1 for each recipe that's in here. So I'll do 8 for each of these, 8 for the mega one, and then 8 for each of these patterns. And that way, like, it has really, really good throughput. And that'll just like future proof. So when we do like bigger automatic crafting CPUs with like co-crafters, then we can use all 8 at the same time and get stuff really quickly. So I'm also gonna do that. I'll just like make the recipes in the system here in the pattern terminal, and then it should be like pretty quick to just get all the extended inscribers we need for that. I've set up this area here for the inscribers. My plan is to do one inscriber for each logic circuit, and then one inscriber row for each, like combining them with the silicon circuits, and then four for the silicon circuits. So in total we have 12 here, 4 for the circuits, 4 for the final circuits, and then 4 for the silicon circuits. And then also something that like usually bogs down making the circuits is the production of glass. So I'm gonna be also setting up, I set up these furnaces here so that we can just also dedicate like these purely to making glass, which will be like kind of our dedicated thing here. So yeah, I've got 96 extended inscribers here. I've set up the preliminary of the cabling, and I've got a bunch of accelerators, and I've got all the presses here, except for the one that's going to come from the singularity. So I'm just going to set these up here, and then yeah, I'll have to do a bunch of work with the ME cables and stuff to organize this, but I think it's going to look really cool. It'll be very, very efficient. So yeah, I'll set this up real quick. Okay, this definitely took a little bit, but I've got all the inscribers set up and hooked up here. These back 2 rows here on both sides are the silicon ones, so silicon presses in all 4 slots here. We've got the pattern providers with silicon patterns. A handy thing, if you don't know, is if you're making a bunch of the same pattern for something like this to maximize efficiency, you can use what's called the pattern modifier from Extended AE, and then you can like copy patterns basically by just putting them in here and then hitting the clone pattern. You'll get a bunch of them. So that's how I made like all the patterns here, instead of like painstakingly doing it on the pattern like maker up there every time. But yeah, so these 2 rows here are the silicon rows, and they're the rows on both sides over here. These ones are also silicon. And then moving forward, we've got the engineering one, we've got the calculation one, the logic one, and then this one is going to be dedicated for that mega cell one. All of them have the acceleration cards in them. On this side over here, we've then got the engineering one, the logic one, or I think that this one's logic, and the other one is calculation. And then again, we're saving this side here for the mega cell press. Yeah, and then all of these pipes items. So instead of like having import buses for every single one of these, I have these item pipes instead that all have upgrades in them, and they all basically will pull out the items and pump them all into this chest over here. And then I still have to set up, what I'm going to do is just set up like maybe 2 import buses with max acceleration cards in it, and then that should be enough to handle like all the output from this. It'll just like pump it into here quickly, but then it'll instantly suck it out basically. I also I set up the furnaces here for the glass, but I also, so these ones here are for the glass, but I also set them up here for the silicon, because that's also like a smelting job that like slows down these things here. So I think with the glass and the silicon here spread out evenly, we should be like pretty covered in terms of like how fast we can make the items this way. I tried to do the wiring as clean as I could. It definitely took a lot of color coding. We now got, I'm starting to use like color coded dense cables here, because it's getting quite complicated up top. I'll show you guys. Let me just sleep real quick. At the top here, you can see it's getting quite tight packed, and I don't want to like waste space. So I've been using the color coded dense cables now so that we can separate all the lines here. This one that goes down to the reactor used to go to the left, and now it goes to the right. And then these 4 here, the red, blue, black, and yellow, are the ones that go down to that system down there, the inscribers. And then this one here is still for this room over here. So yeah, those are all connected now, and I do have a singularity, so I should be able to make the mega cell here. Let me try and remember how to do it here. Mega cell, we need the engineering and the calculation. What was the order here? Calculation on top. Okay, so let me just grab this engineering one, calculation, put it here. Singularity, boom. surprised I was able to pick that up before it. Oh, these import buses don't have any upgrades. Okay. Did that? Oh, I think that consumed the presses. Okay, I'll probably have to replace those presses, but that's all right. I should now be able to make all the presses for the system down there, though. Should be pretty easy. Just get 64 of these. And then if I come over here and I set this guy here and do this, I'll just set 64. These should all be pumping into this chest over here. And then once we get the 32 of those, we can then pump them each into here, into each of these guys here, and then we need to make the patterns for it. So the 2 patterns. Let me just do that here. First pattern we have to make is the mega cell circuit. This one here. We just want the sky steel ingot. And then the second one we need to make is the accumulation processor, which would just be this guy like this. So then, like I said, I can. Oh, I guess my inventory is a little full here. Let me just clear this out for a second. Don't need a lot of this stuff. If I use this guy here, excuse me, I can now copy this pattern, and I'll copy this guy 8 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now I can put this guy in each of these patterns providers here, just like this. And now I can also do the same over here and copy this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So should do like this, like that. Pump these all in here. And now the only step we have to do is connecting this import bus and then putting these presses into these machines here. So I'm just going to put the presses in here. I'll connect this import bus, and then we should be ready to rock with this new and improved system here for making the presses. I've got it all set up here. I've got the import buses on this chest here. Everything's connected back to the system. I currently have these like hard lines cut right now. The final step for this, to be able to actually like exploit and use all of these like parallel like inscribers, is to make a crafting CPU that can actually handle that. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna make I made these CPUs that I called storage crafters. They're 256Ks. So now we'll connect them like this, and then I'm gonna put in 8 co-crafters on them. So that should hook up, hopefully. I think. Oh, well, it's not gonna hook up until I connect the hard cable. So let's do that first. Nighttime again. Okay. And so now we'll just go bam, 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 bam. Alright, keep connected. They should light up. Just like that. And now this CPU should be online. So now I should be able to say, if I go to this mega pack here, if I want to make a 256 million, okay, well, let's not do that one because it needs the matter balls. Let's just go for the 1 million here. I want to make the 1 million. Then we just make this pattern here. Let's throw it in one of the assemblers. You can see now we have a lot of inscribers here. It's a little annoying for this part, but it's okay. We'll put this guy here. And now we'll start a job. We'll say, I guess we should make this as well, but let's do this guy too real quick. Pull this guy all the way down. Where is it? There it is. And then we'll just go 1 million. This one here. Oops. Okay, put that one in there. And now if we connect this guy in here. Now I should be able to craft this guy. Oh, we need vibrant quartz glass. One more final step here. Hold on. I'm sorry about that. Vibrant quartz glass. Okay, that's simple. One final pattern that I didn't realize was different. Just pull this guy down again. Put this in here. Now I want to make one. Like that's like really cheap. So let's see if we can do. Let's see how many. And I can now select storage crafter. It has coprocessors 8 and 524 storage. But I want to see, like, can we make 100 of them? We see we could make 100. Can we make 200? Can we make 300? All right, 300 where it stops because we run out of sand. Let's make. I'm not gonna make 200 because I think we should get to making like the super dense ones instead of making the other ones. Let's make each of those holds 80. Let's make 80 just for one of those like rows of storage cells. Let's go 80 here. Oh, I see. So we have the materials, but we don't have the storage. So let's do 60. And we'll do it on this guy. Maybe we can do 70. Let's bump it up. Yeah, we can do almost 69. No. 68. No. 67. Come on. 66. 65. There we go. 65, we can do it. So now we'll go like that. And when we monitor this, it should be making a whole lot of these all at once. So if we go down here, all of these guys should be running and doing different things. See, yeah, each of these guys is working. Where is it at now? Crafting silicon. It's crafting some of these guys. Yep, you can see it kind of going. It's a little hard to catch because it's going so quickly. But now it should do this whole thing. And I mean, this is like probably take a long time with just the original inscribers that we had. But now we have all the other stuff. Also, it's doing all the glass, which hopefully should be happening fairly quickly. Where is it? Let's see the glass here. Is it doing it up here? It is doing some glass and stuff up here. Looks like I'm gonna have to optimize this a bit better to control what it uses. But it does seem to be doing it pretty quickly. And I can like tweak it going forward. But I think we have a lot of potential here. Real quick here, guys, I figured out what it was. It was just the inputs on these guys here weren't set up properly. So now it's going and it's cooking for them quickly. But yeah, that was just the only thing holding us up. Those inputs weren't set right, so it didn't think you could push anything into here. But now it's doing all that, and it's doing it real quickly. It like went through the glass like incredibly fast. And yeah, it's just pumping through it. All right, that just about does it for the episode here, guys. This is taking a pretty significant amount of time behind the scenes to get the base going, and then also set up all these machines here, and a lot of waiting, accumulating some resources, that sort of thing, to get all these things going. But I'm very happy with the way that it's going. I think this is really cool. I really enjoy doing this kind of thing, and I think like the sky is the limit. No pun intended. on our base going forward here with all the power set up from the reactors and this ability to increase our storage capacity very quickly and efficiently. So now I think going forward in the next episode, I'll either be working probably on getting like our mechanism machines automated by the system here and going through that. And if I either have time or if I do it before or the episode after, I am going to make a mob farm because we are needing some mob resources, and I'm probably going to use your suggestion, Holden, about using the dreadful dirt. So stay tuned for that. I'll probably end up doing something like that. It is like you said, it would probably be better for string production than my current farm that I set up in that silo. While that is good, I don't like the hose, and then also the string will probably come faster from spiders and things like that. And also it'd be nice to get automated slime balls instead of making them from clay, which is what I've been doing right now. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.